Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 39 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
And I'm Weston Pugh, and we've got a great show today. We've decided to select some great modern homes that are new or have been on the market just for a little while because we thought, why not? We've talked about a bunch of different price points. We talked about pools and homes that you can get in the area for under $500. We've talked about new homes and where you can find those in and around the starter price point.
We talked about the Craftsman home last week.
That's right. So we thought, hey, we've got a really good cross section, and so today we're going to do that. Before we jump into that, we wanted to tell you a little bit about the open house that we're going to have. It's going to be at 831 West Greenbrier, and it is a 3-bedroom, 3.5-bath, 2-car garage over in Sam Dealey Estates, which is in Oak Cliff.
It's in the Kessler Park neighborhood.
Yep, really great area. This one has been renovated from front to back, and we don't have it on the show today. We'll have it on next week, and it is priced at $680,000. And we'd love to see you out there. It's from 2 until 5 on Sunday.
And we also want to talk about another listing that we've got coming on the market that's really cool. This is at 4406 Bowser. It's unit number 9. This is one of the Lomo Alto townhomes and was built in 2008. It's about 2,100 square feet. It's coming on the market at $485,000, and we will have this on the market within the next 7 days.
Yeah, very good time. So if you have anybody that's looking in either one of those areas, let us know. We'd love to help you.
One last one. We've got a really great investment property coming on that's out near the Audelia and Walnut Street neighborhood. It's in Dallas. That's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Was built in the 90s. Really a great home.
Kind of zero lot line almost.
Kind of. It's one of those little neighborhoods that's kind of tucked in back there. I think there's only like 8 or 10 neighborhoods or houses in the whole neighborhood. And that's going to be one of those great affordable price points. It's coming on at $279,000.
$279,000. So again, great one. Contact us and let us know if you have any interest or you know someone that is.
Yep.
So one of the first ones that we want to jump into is we're going to head over into North Dallas. And the address is going to be 4064 Rochelle Drive. And this is a great area. You live somewhere near this area, maybe
south of this.
South of it. So you're really familiar with it. And it's really turned into quite the neighborhood as far as what's happening with new construction.
Yeah, we've highlighted a lot of homes in this Midway Hollow neighborhood. And this is kind of on the northern end of Midway Hollow between Midway and Marsh, south of Walnut Hill. There's just a tremendous amount of new construction and newer construction over there for sale. And this was one that really stood out to us because of the styling.
Right.
Location on it is great. It is still a somewhat walkable neighborhood. I mean, you could take about a 10 block walk down to the new Central Market down there if you wanted to. Might be a little bit farther walk than people in Dallas will take, but you could, if you can get you a bird scooter or a lime scooter out there, be a great little ride for you.
So this is one of the homes that we really thought was interesting because it has kind of a farmhouse look, but it has a nod to a very modern look right now with the way that the roof line is set on this one. The lot in and of itself is extremely wide, and so you get a really great front yard, and I think that that's one of the keys that they've highlighted on it. And then once inside the home, the house is really set up where that high pitch that we see right there in this front picture is the actual living, transitions to dining, transitions to the kitchen. And it's a really great space with almost, we were guessing, around 22-foot ceilings, really great windows. And what they've done different in this set of windows is that they've actually taken them down to the ground. So they sit just a little bit off and then they're up probably about 8 feet in the air. So it creates this really great volume of space. In this picture, what we're actually looking at is the stairs are in the back on the right-hand side, and that actually is leading you up to this second living space that actually has a full bathroom and a balcony off of it that we both really liked.
That would make a great game room, would make a great media room. It could really even be a fourth bedroom up there
Absolutely.
easily, and with the full bath the way that it's laid out. The light in this one is kind of the thing I remember going through it, because as you said, they literally are floor to ceiling windows, and the house itself faces north, so it's just never really any direct light, none of the direct harsh light, but it's just got great light in general.
So one of the things that we thought was really unique about the way that they had constructed this house is that they've created this large sunroom that actually has mosquito screens around it, really well decked. It's got plumbing. This is the great shot of it. Skylights, ceiling fans, recessed cans, and it's got enough beater board and texture to it that makes it really inviting. Now, one of the things that we were quick to point out and visit was that because this is not air conditioned space, this is not actually going to hit you on the taxes.
Yeah, it might be considered a little bit of an improvement or a little bit of an accessory, but it's certainly not going to have the same value that air conditioned square footage does.
But the way that it's laid out actually adds a ton of value, because we see more and more people transitioning to having spaces that they can live and work in outside versus like over a second living room or that media room, which we really don't see much anymore.
Yeah, and this is a very well-priced home, $849,000. That brings it in about $322 a square foot. It is a remarkable home, and certainly on the lower end of the price point
Yes.
for newer construction in the Midway Hollow neighborhood. That's just
We want to say thank you so much to Rick Adams for letting us highlight your home. It is a wonderful home. And if you'd like more information about that, please reach out. We'll be happy to help you with that one too.
Yep, thank you. Our next one today is these new construction condominiums. Are they condominiums or townhomes?
I think they're townhomes.
Townhomes
Condos.
that are condos that are on Lomo Alto, about a block away from the Whole Foods there at Lomo Alto and Lemon Avenue. 4300 Lomo Alto Drive. The unit that we looked at the other day is a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath home, about 2,900 square feet. The location on this is absolutely phenomenal. A block from the Whole Foods, a block from probably 20 restaurants that are walkable right through there. You have Craddock Park, that is right there across Lemon Avenue from you. You are in Highland Park in this with this home, which also gets you access into the Highland Park School District.
So this is one of those homes that we've looked at, and we're really glad that Claudine was able to let us highlight this home. And this home is constructed in a 2-building complex. So you have homes that actually share a center privacy gate, and then your garages are on the outside. And it is really well orchestrated. The way that the landscaping and the way that the path kind of meanders so that front doors don't line up. It was amazing the way that they've used the texture of the walnut throughout this house. So they've used it both in the living room, front door, and on the floors. And it's created this cohesiveness throughout the house. It gives it that warm that we really want modern homes to have, because we all know that a modern home can get really stark and no longer have the charm that we want it. This is an actual example of the downstairs bedroom, and what they've done to help this one is actually giving it additional light and access to the outside. So great space. Now, one of my favorite things about this house was when we went upstairs and went into the kitchen. So well, let's take a look at this. This is going to be the actual living room, and that is a paneled fireplace.
Yeah.
That kind of acts as a divider as you come up the stairs.
Yeah, this is different than a lot of condos and townhomes that we see, because it really creates a true entry. I mean,
Yes,
it's
an
got
arrival.
Yes, an arrival, as opposed to just like stepping into a little bitty foyer and then, there's the big living room for you.
And so many times kitchens, and here's the kitchen that I'm talking about, and you can see what I want to point out is on the right-hand side of the picture, there's the 2 ovens. And the way that they've kind of constructed that is around the corner is where the microwave and the wine fridge and where you would do a beverage center. And so it kind of has taken this really modern kitchen and modern floor plan and kind of compartmentalized it so that not everything that you need day to day is on display. It was really good. One of the other things I was really excited about this house is that I believe it's Conduit supplied the art, and Scott and Cooner supplied all of the furniture. And the great thing about this is that this house is actually set up so that if you wanted to purchase the coffee table or the dining room table or the art in the living room or the bathroom, it is available and it is for sale. I thought it was a great marketing and I loved it.
Great concept. Many times stores will provide furniture, but they don't give that little extra push to it like this. And much of this stuff, I mean, just fits right where it is.
It's impeccable. And one of the greatest things is that this is actually elevator. And it's not just elevator ready, it is elevator equipped.
Every unit has its own elevator and it is installed, and
it's great because from the first floor to the second floor to the third floor, if you were not thinking that this was something that you could live in, this is absolutely something if you've got a sports injury or it's just that point where you don't want to do stairs anymore. This eliminates all of that and opens it up to an entirely different group of buyers out there.
absolutely. And this is one of those homes that could really become a great multi-generational home, because if you have older parents that can't navigate stairs, but they want to have their own bedroom or they want to have their own second floor, third floor living, they can do it in this
Easily.
Yeah.
And the other thing too that they've thought out just a little bit further is they've thought about there's an outdoor space that has a grill and a covered dining area that's really well done, stays within the modern vein, and they have a little stretch workout room also that's mirrored. So it's a really good kind of community space. And you calculated out the HOAs per square foot, and they were nothing.
Yeah, minimal on this one. And it's really, part of it's because the units are so big. I
Yeah.
think the one that we looked at was just under 3,000 square feet. And the HOA fees are about $400 a month, covers all of your blanket insurance, all of your maintenance, upkeep, the fitness center, the outdoor space. I think they even had a fire feature out there. Anyway, just a really magnificent property. And this is it's about 3,000 square feet. It's priced at $1,650,000, and that brings it in about $496 a square foot, which is on the higher end of a lot of what we see. But when you take into account all of the things you're getting, living in Highland Park, having access to HPISD, and also knowing that Highland Park taxes are lower than Dallas, it really does bring value to it. And we want to say thank you to Claudine King for letting us talk about her home.
Great home. And thank you, Madeline White, for walking us through the house. It was a pleasure for you to show us and tell us some of the features of it.
Yep. And the next one we want to talk about today is at 4918 Milam Street. This is a new construction, single family. I'm going to say it's attached because I think Jay was telling us that they do share a wall there. But they are really totally separate units. You really would not even know that you have a neighbor in this. The 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, about 3,000 square feet. And this is in the Cochran Heights neighborhood, or maybe it's not actually in that, but it's right there on the southern tip of it. This has got great access to Fitzhugh Avenue. You can walk over to Henderson, where all the great restaurants there, from the Old Monk to the Porch to Velvet Taco.
All of them. It is one of the most walkable areas, and if it's not walkable for you, within 2 minutes there is a scooter there that you can jump on and be wherever you want to be.
you want to go.
And I know this because I do it, so it does happen. And this is it's a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, and it's a 2-car garage. It's 3,000 square feet, and this one is a real true modern in every sense of it, from the exterior to all the way through the color selections and whatnot. So this one is actually in a different format than what we've seen before. So it actually has 2 living spaces, and the first living space is on the first floor, as is a full bath and a full bedroom. So it was a really good, again, we're seeing more people be conscientious of how multi-generational families are coming together, and how this is one of those ones that you may not be thinking that's multi-generational, but because of the layout, it can be quite easily.
Yeah, and the second floor is what has the second living area, the kitchen, and then back to the back side of this, you can see that the cabinetry there to the back. One of the things that Jay was pointing out to us was that that's only deep enough for plates to go into, that the actual pantry is really behind that. So you step around, and then you've got the walk-in pantry where you would store all your food and your cookware and that type of thing.
So what they've done is, in modern design, what at times a lot of people do when we talked about windows in the very first one, is there's another set of windows here, but they've actually frosted just because of density in that area. And they frosted probably a two-thirds of
Two-thirds
the
of
way
them,
up.
yeah.
And then the other thing too is if you look in the dining room photos, there's actually going to be lower windows that actually allow the light to come in, but it doesn't come up much quite to the actual waist. And so you still have all that great wall space for art, and you've seen the sculptures that they've got here, but you get in all the great light. And then this one transitions from the living room into an outdoor area that has an outdoor fireplace. It has covered seating, and then it also has storage units on either side. And those storage units acts as a buffer because your neighbor that you actually connect to has the exact same configuration. So it acts as a sound deadener as well. And this was strategically laid out here because Jay was telling us how much he dislikes modern homes or homes in general where you have to go to the third floor in order to actually get to the outdoor space. And this one is just a continuation of the living room that allows you to really enjoy outdoor dining, outdoor fireplace, and outdoor TV.
Yeah, this has got as good an outdoor space as it does indoor space.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
the privacy is still there, even though you've got, the density that you talked about. It's it's a great opportunity for somebody.
Yep.
And this one's priced at $1,050,000. It's 3,000 square feet. That brings it in about $350 a square foot for the location, the quality of the construction, the Paul Jankowski award-winning architecture that is put into this. It's a great value.
Yep. And we want to say thank you so much to Jay McGee for allowing us to feature this wonderful home that he has been able to really get in and help make some big changes to it.
Yep.
The last one that we're going to look at is going to be Pasadena. We're
Yep.
going to go over to 6931 Pasadena, all the way over in Lakewood.
Yep.
And it's a great area.
Wonderful, wonderful area. This one still has great walkability there. You're not very far away from the Whole Foods that's in Lakewood. You've got all of the great restaurants that are right there in the Lakewood Shopping Center. You still have good access, like if you're a biker,
Yeah.
a cyclist, not really a biker, but I'm a biker,
You're
not a cyclist.
You're a scooter.
Whatever, same thing. But if you want access to the lake for whatever reason, this is really a great location for you.
Yep. The other thing too is that you're able to use 30 and come up Garland Road or Gaston, and you're able to get to it because you're on that side of the lake. It makes a lot of sense to get if you're working in downtown as well. So this one is in true. It is in the Pasadena neighborhood, which is as close to the true Lakewood area as you can get. This one is a take on, again, more of a traditional kind of exterior configuration, but then the way that they've actually used the materials is more of a modern. And you can see that, again, we're using natural woods. And this one is a 6-bedroom, 6.5 bath. And that sounds daunting, but the configuration of the bedroom, and bathrooms is immaculate.
Yeah.
Downstairs, the study has a full bathroom, and that is in the place where you could have your 6th bedroom, or you can keep it as an office. A lot of detail was paid to the amount of wood that was used in this house. Again, it gives a modern house the soul that it needs and the warmth that it needs to not get so harsh.
And they had a really good balance between their hard and their soft surface, and the wood and the tile and the color. There was really nothing that stood out as being overused in this one. I think sometimes in new construction, builders can take one product and try to carry it a little too far. But this one, you've got just a great color palette in the construction materials. The kitchen is very simple, yet very elegant, and it has that very popular floor plan of where everything hovers around that center bar that is open to the living area, and then it continues on with big double door cascading doors that open up out onto the patio.
Yep. And one of the things this is one of the first ones that I've ever seen that did this. The powder bath is at the back of the house near the garage, but the powder bathroom actually opens to the outside. And that was forethinking of the developer because they knew that at some point this backyard is going to lend itself to an amazing pool. And there's nothing more frustrating than not having a bathroom so that you don't have to go running through the house and whatnot. The location of the master bedroom is also off the back of the house, which is a great asset. really good size. And again, they paid attention to the colors and the cabinets of the bathroom as in the kitchens. When you run up kitchens, it's a kitchen, sorry about that. And then when you run upstairs, it's great because they've given themselves a large living area. And then each one of the bedrooms has direct access to a bathroom. So it's not like anybody's having to run down the hall. One of the other things that they've given is they've given one of the bathrooms access, that door right there by the fridge, that's into one of the bathrooms. And then there's also to the left in that picture is an open web parlor with 110 outlets, storage, and desks already set up for, crafting, homework, wrapping presents, whatever it is.
The second floor on this is really laid out well because you've got, if you've got a lot of kids that live with you, everybody can have their separate bedroom. They can have that common area to get together to watch TV or to play games or do whatever. Each of those bedrooms upstairs has its own bathroom, except for the bedroom on the front, which is the one that shares, that has kind of the Jack and Jill off of the media room, game room, whatever you want to call that area up there, the entertainment area.
And this is another one of the homes that a lot of thought has gone into how today's families live. And so if this is a multi-generational buyer, this is actually perfect for it. So if they're in a situation where they are coming home from college or they're downsizing and now they're going to come back home with you, this will work for them just in the way that it's all laid out. Lots of attention in the closet space as well. So this is one of the homes that is coming in at 4,651 square feet. Again, it's a 6-bed, 6.5 bath, 2-car garage. It was built in 2018, and it is priced at $1,350,000, which is $290,26 a foot. And we want to say thank you so much to Sharon Red for allowing us to highlight your home.
Thank you, Sharon.
Home.
Wonderful home.
So again, we did a little tour across Dallas, from North Dallas to Lakewood, and a couple of stops in between to talk about homes that were modern. Hope that you like those, and if there's anything that you see out there that you'd like more information on or more information about these homes, please let us know. And now it is time for us to switch gears, and we're going to go into the second segment. So Jeff, what you got for me on the second segment?
Well, today we have a guest with us named Grant Waring, and Grant is with Home One Inspection Services, and we're really happy to have him here. We have kind of waited to have an inspector on because we wanted to have you or Chris here, and so Grant, welcome, or Graham, welcome. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So tell us a little bit about what does the inspector do?
Home inspector, we perform basically 3 types of home inspections mainly. The first one is a pre-listing or a seller's inspection. That's for those waiting to list their home, getting ready to. The other and the most common is the buyer's inspection, when somebody's purchasing a home and in their option period, that 7-day. The other is someone purchasing a new home, either purchasing a home, we do the new home build or the 11-month inspection right before their 1-year warranty goes out.
Those are, and it's funny. Everybody, I think in most cases, they all think about, they're just that buyer's inspection. But I know when we've talked to sellers and had them do the pre-sale inspection, we kind of have a rule of thumb that if they lived in the house 5 years or longer, they need to do a pre-sale inspection. And we push really hard on that. And one of the things we tell people is what the inspector tells you and what you're able to take care of before you put it on the market is going to save you more than the inspection fee.
Right.
So so tell them, so the 11-month inspection, is that a big portion of the market for y'all?
It's not a big portion, but it's increasing a little bit more with the new home build, and we do a lot of homes out in Fort Worth and the growth out west that way. But what happens is people buy a new home and they think with the new home that there shouldn't be any issues to it. Well, they move into the home and they start noticing some of these things come up. We come in right before that year warranty's up. That's where they get called the 11-month warranty. And we kind of look and check everything out, provide them with a report to go back to their builder and get these items fixed and addressed for them.
That's great. And how did you get started into this? What made you choose this your career path?
Sure. Prior to this, I was in inspecting for insurance companies. My background initially is in automobile, then moved over to homes, and then had a best friend that was working in the industry, and he needed an inspector. So I made the transfer from inspecting for insurance to real estate.
Cool. That sounds like a very natural kind of process. So,
Yes.
what does a typical home inspection cost?
The average home inspection costs $350. That's for the average size home up to about 2,500 square feet. Most people that get a home inspection also inquire about a termite inspection. That fee is $75, and we can also perform that as well.
Okay. And what does the inspector do? What can you do? What can't you do?
Sure. What we do is we do a visual inspection of every square inch of your home. So every inch that we can see, including the attic, crawl space, garage, all those items. We also test all the systems of the home, the HVAC system, your plumbing system, all the appliances, dishwasher. We're going to test those and make sure that they're working. Things that we're not able to do is, one is test any specialized equipment, theater equipment, media rooms, or alarm equipment, things like that. Only thing we can't do is cause damage to the property, obviously, as well as can't move personal belongings. We can't move people's couches to look under them, take pictures off of the wall to look at things like that. So,
What do you, when you're going through this process of kind of comparing it, what do you compare it to?
I compared a little bit about taking your automobile to a mechanic, or in some case, you going into your doctor.
Okay.
We're very much a generalist, where we're going to kind of look at the whole picture and look at everything. Same thing when you take your car into a mechanic, he's going to kind of look at everything for a checkup, but send you to a transmission place or an engine shop or a tire place, depending upon what symptoms your car has.
Okay.
We're the same way. We're going to look at the symptoms of the house, and if there are any, we're going to recommend a specialist for you.
Yeah, and I've always thought that was a really good approach for consumers, because I don't know that there's one guy that can know everything.
Right.
I mean, it's like there's, in the real estate sales side of it, you have residential people and you have commercial people and you have property managers and you have, and there's no way.
Right.
So, explain the form and the format that y'all use.
Sure. Home inspectors are required to use the same form. It's governed by the Department of Real Estate, or TREC, and it breaks down all the systems we're required to check on the home. Starts with the foundation, where we're always required to give an opinion on the foundation, and then breaks down every system in your home, where we're going to indicate if we inspected it and whether or not it's deficient or not.
Okay. And so there's 4 columns on everything, and it's inspected, not inspected. Is it 4 columns or 3 columns?
That's 4, yeah,
4.
not inspected, deficient, and not present.
Okay, not present. That was the one I was forgetting. So when you're when you're picking those things, are you comparing it to if it was built today, or when it was the way it should have been when it was built? How do y'all determine that?
We do a little of both. If it was a newer build, 1-year-old home, we're going to hold it to a little higher standard than it would be a home built in the 50s. So we always try to talk to the client and let them know about updated safety features and things like that are required nowadays. But kind of put it in perspective, the home's been standing for 60 years and nothing's happened to the home. But these are some items, that could make your home a little safer.
It's one of the things that we enjoy about working with you and Chris, is that you do put that in perspective really well with people, because we deal with a lot of older homes. The core of the city was kind of built from the core from the center out. And so we do some new construction in the suburbs, and we do some infill new construction sales, but I'd say, 85% of our stuff is 50 years or older.
Right.
And so, y'all do a really good job of kind of keeping the client in perspective about that part. So what would you say a seller needs to do to get ready? Say that their house has been on the market, they've got it under contract, they know the buyer's going to do an inspection next week. How do they get ready for that?
Sure. They want to make the process as easy as possible for the inspector. You want to make sure that you've got access to all the major systems of your home. The electric panel, make sure there are things out of the way that they can have access to it. Your HVAC, your water heater, things like that, the attic ladder even. Just make sure they can get access to all the places in your home. The other I recommend is go ahead and take off during the inspection. You want to be out while the inspector's there, especially when he tests the smoke alarms and things like that. And then as well as when they talk about your home and so forth.
Yeah, it's the process, the whole process overall is usually kind of stressful on both people, because if you look at the real estate transaction, it really, they happen around the most stressful times in people's lives anyway, whether it's birth or death or marriage or divorce or, kids growing up or kids moving away, or, it's just, there's a lot of exterior stuff. And there have been a couple of experiences where the seller has been there when we've done a buyer inspection, and I just can't imagine that stress is worth hearing all of those things about your house. So, what would you say is how would you suggest a buyer prepare for the inspection?
Sure. A buyer's got to prepare mentally a little bit. They're already, what you mentioned, they're already stressed out. So coming into the unknown home inspection, they're going to get hit with a lot of information, even if it's just good information on the home. So they've got to be prepared mentally to get all the information and keep it in perspective. Know that if you've picked a good home inspector and a good realtor, they're going to take real good care of you. You'll be provided with a report with all the information, so you don't have to remember anything. But just take all the information and look at it and see what items are important to you.
And your inspection, a lot of people think it's like it's a pass or it's a fail.
Right.
Or the house can be sold or it can't be sold. What's your take on that?
Sure, not at all. Our inspection is more informative, so we've got to tell you about all the information on your home, whether or not there's any deficiencies or anything wrong with it. So there's not a pass or fail grade. There's just information. So we gave you the information and any recommendations, and they take that information from there. But as far as a pass or fail, there's no pass fail from ours.
Okay. If there was one thing that you wanted to let the consumers know about your industry and your process, what would that be?
Sure. I want to let the people know that the home inspector is just like the realtor in the process, and the seller and the buyer, is that we want a smooth transaction. We don't want to come into the home and be the bearer of bad news or to put more stress into the situation. But we want to come in and educate the homeowner on the house and the issues on the home. So we're not the bad, evil guys. We want the same thing everybody else does, is that a smooth transaction. We want you to love your home. We want the seller to be comfortable selling their home.
But knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, very much so. Well, if people want to reach out to you directly and hire you or ask questions, how should they do that?
Sure. You can reach us on our cell phone. We put our personal cell phones on our website. I think we'll have a slide with that information. You can also reach us on our website as www.homeoneis.com. Email, text, smoke signal, carrier pigeon, we'll accept it all.
That's right. Well, Graham, thank you for coming in
so much
today.
for
It was
having me. I
really
appreciate it.
nice to see
Thank
you,
you so much.
and thanks for your information.
All right, thanks for having us.
So that is going to head toward the end of our show for today, and we want to say thank you again to Graham Waring for being here. It was really great information, and
Great job.
I enjoyed that one. So.
It's always, inspections are one of those things you've got to get done. And the more you know about it, the more as a seller and as a buyer, it's less of a stress, because people get stressed all the time when they're like,
Yeah.
my house is going to be inspected. It's not,
Yeah.
like Graham said, we're all trying a common goal.
Yeah, and real estate transactions don't have to be stressful. It's,
Right.
I think we all work very hard to not let them be. But, when people are going through usually those extra items that we've talked about, and they're also making one of the biggest financial decisions of their life, it's going to just bring some more stress into it. So
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much for tuning in with us today. We've really enjoyed being with you, and reach out to us in a bunch of different ways. Go to our Facebook page. Well, you're probably already there if you're watching this. Visit us on Instagram. We try to keep posts up there with what's going on, our new listings, just things that are happening in the real estate business. Visit our website at updikepugh.com. There's a lot of really detailed information there about the home buying and selling process. And then last of all, homeprice.fyi. If you have a piece of property that you want a price on instantly, just go in there, put the address, a couple of other pieces of info. And then you can also reach out to us in the normal manner. 214-377-2223 is our phone number. Text us. It comes to both of us. We'd love to hear from you.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.